reconstructing the relations between humans and landscapes. We reconstruct actually what is our history within the evolution of our planet. Each and every creative expression of ours is linked to our surroundings. Therefore, studying what is the landscape, we study what are the elements used by humans throughout time. Oliva Menozzi, along with her big archaeological family, are detecting under the sea and over the mountains the story of human presence near Limassol.
Oliva Menozzi speaking, coming from Chieti University. I teach classical archaeology at Chieti University, PI of the Euroteach project here with a Cypriot partner. That's why we started this adventure in this splendid country. With MPM project we started 10 years ago, in 2010. And we started with a survey of the territory of Pyrgos, which is a quite limited area, but quite interesting from the archaeological point of view. Then we moved and we enlarged the area of the survey because the Moni system and the Pyrgos systems are closely related. So we started to survey the sites of the territory from Pyrgos to Pentakomo, including then the coasts to the mountain. So the territory is quite big, and the sites, at the moment, we got something like 56 interesting sites, scattered sites, and other possible sites which can be studied in future with excavations. The site at the moment is Agia Marina. We came here because there is a church. It's a quite ancient church which has been built on the top of another church, an earlier one, probably dating to the 5th century AD. So what has been important is we did geophysics prospection, we did with the drone also remote sensing, and that's been important because we found a continuity. This site is starting from Neolithic period up to the medieval church that you see today. 3 years ago, they enlarged the road. So we started to look at the sections of the modern roads, and we saw one of the best sections dating to the pre-ceramic Neolithic, which is exciting for Cyprus, is exciting for the Mediterranean context in general. So what we are doing at the moment is documenting, sampling, non-invasive sampling, together with the Cyprus Institute in order to avoid, to remove the samples and brought the samples away. Then we are going to date with the radiocarbon dating, the sampling in London and in Italy, because we need 2 different kind of labs to have the crossing results. And after maybe we could apply to do some testing. MPM project started since the beginning as a territorial study of the landscape, the archaeological landscape, historical landscape, but also geomorphological landscape, which is an important main topic in this territory because the valley is very long, is very penetrating from the minerary area to the sea, with a granary in the middle, in between the middle valley of the Moni. So we decided to come with a large team, including geologists, geomorphologists, archaeometallurgists, and we are now collaborating with colleagues from Cyprus, and also students when we got the excavation or the survey. The survey is generally based on 2 different kinds of approaches: intensive survey and judgmental survey. So the study of the territory is also to understand in a diachronic way the territory, and to understand the ratio of the territory, the meaning of the territory. And that's important, I think, before starting the excavations. The situation here is quite clear because you've got the pillow lava coming from directly from the volcanic situation, and also the minerary lines are quite clear. That's the area here. This is one of the best to see how they interact together. Okay, here the pillow lava are the same kind of composition you've seen there. Obviously, we are in a deeper sea area, so you can see the irony part, volcanic part, the pillow lava going down, and the pillow lava here are crossing the valley together with the sedimentary kind of stones, in this case limestone, and a sort of melange. It's called melange in geology, which is important because it's a sort of a passage between the two different kind of areas. Here in where the mineralization can create the layers of the malachites and azzurrites, it's fantastic because you go the basis of the color which were used in antiquity to paint. So analyzing the Greek paintings, for instance, we found the azzurrites of this kind in many different tombs around the Mediterranean world. The sense of insularity in Cyprus is one of the best places where you can see the insularity in two different kind of approaches. Is the insularity due to the isolation because of the sea, but it's also the crossing point, cultural crossing point, which is Cyprus, which is the best way to look at this aspect of the insularity of Cyprus. And you can see from the material you find, from the finds from the territory that we study every day.
I'm Lucia Marinangeli, I'm a planetary geologist, and I'm here as part of a project, a European project named In Time, to build a small instrument to make a chronology on Mars. Yes, we are studying Mars, and to better taste the instrument and to validate the instrument, we have to study terrestrial areas and to taste this instrument in terrestrial sites. So here we are in Cyprus because we have a partner from Nicosia involved in this project, the Center for Space Exploration Organization and S-Cube, two companies working in this space subject. And we are here with the archaeologists to sample part of the soils between the archaeological site, and we will make measurement, time, chronology on these specific samples to evaluate the capability of our instrument, not only for Mars application but also for terrestrial application.
We are in the Archaeological Museum of Limassol today, and as Archaeological Mission of Chieti University, we are collaborating with the Department of Antiquity and with the Archaeological Museum, and we are collaborating with Yannis Violaris, the archaeologist Yannis Violaris, for the restoration of the finds, mainly pottery, coming from the tombs around Moni. So the territory is in this way studied through the finds, and also trying to reconstruct what was in antiquity, this kind of context.
My name is Yannis Violaris and I'm archaeological officer of the Department of Antiquities at the Limassol district. Behind every systematic archaeological activity, either excavation or survey project, there is a history. The MPM survey project was initiated in 2010 for various reasons, ranging from academic to reasons touching international politics. It is a well-motivated and lively team, coming from various backgrounds and experiences. The team is gradually adapting to the Cypriot microcosm and is entering the fascinating world of Cypriot archaeology.
The underwater survey has been a quite fruitful and interesting survey, especially along the coast around Agios Georgios Alamanos. One of the first sites we found and we have been surveying for 2 years has been a quite large workshop, which is around and just below the cliffs of Agios Georgios Alamanos, with 2 structures, underwater structures, and 1 structure just above the sea level. And there we found a lot of presses, cairns, several kind of tools to work, probably relating to the fish market, and at the same time the colors, because we found a lot of murex used inside the silos, but as we know, they cannot be dated at the moment. But also we found a lot of minium, which has been used in antiquity for the color, and the composition of the minium is the kind of composition which has been used at the beginning of the Iron Age. So because of the pottery, because of the kind of chipped stone, the kind of cairns we found, the structure seems to date to the beginning of the Iron Age up to the 7th century BC. That's why just a few kilometers away there are quarries all around the area, but one of them has been probably the biggest in the area, where we found a long channel about 60 meters, 7 meters deep. Most of the finds are not so deep, so it has been quite easy to organize a field of survey, a field of documenting. The group of scuba divers have been 6 or 7 people working together, and we were dealing with both sides. So we were dealing on the basis of the wind. We were moving from one side to another side, but we were collaborating also with the Italian scuba divers of the ministry. So it has been useful to have a quite professional team working in underwater survey.
Among our duties at the Department of Antiquities is the cooperation and monitoring of the foreign archaeological missions. This gives us the opportunity to meet and work closely with colleagues from abroad. As they usually come from the academic world and are interdisciplinary teams, we have a lot to benefit. To say a few words for the leader of the mission, Professor Oliva Menozzi, a motherly figure for her students and colleagues, but at the same time a leader and a mentor, as a teacher should be. An archaeologist, especially one operating in foreign grounds, is not a usual teacher. It takes a lot more, and I think that many of these qualities are summarized in Oliva's personality.